Person to Person. I'm Shanita.
And I am Journey.
And today we're just going to jump straight to the tea.
Come on.
Okay. So, word on the street is Krishan and Blueface done got married.
Girl,
now,
that is news to me.
Girl, it got to be foolishness. It can't be true.
Right.
Like, it just absolutely cannot be true. Now, it's a video of a phone call that he had in prison. And he said, hey, call my wife for me. Right, but we all know every brother in jail got a wife.
Right.
They got about 17 of them.
Now.
And then apparently they're using like husband and wife emojis, like whatever. Okay, I really hoped that relationship was over. I really do. Like, I am more prayerful for her when they are together.
Yeah.
Because something takes over her. Whether it be who she really is or whatever, it ain't right. It ain't of the Lord. And it makes me sad for her.
Oh, yeah.
So I really hope that that's not the truth. I hope that they are not married because he is not a good dude.
I mean, the problem is we've watched this tumultuous relationship for years now, and we have seen firsthand that this man does not mind putting his hands on her.
Bing, bing, bing.
At all.
Mm-hmm.
He justifies it.
Other people put their hands on her. That's how she lost her tooth.
That part. And then he justifies it because she's physically aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
But we've all seen where she was in a situation where she was not being physically aggressive and he was being physically aggressive towards her. And that's never okay. Like,
no, not ever.
It's never okay. She's supposedly on this journey of purity. She says purity. And so how does that happen when you're attached to this person?
What's the air quotes?
Purity.
What's that about?
Child.
Listen, don't nobody want to believe that Krishan done found the Lord, huh?
At the end of the day, I just pray for the baby.
Yeah, I for the first time, I looked at her and saw her. Like, I could see her eyes. They were bright. They were clear. Any other video that I've seen of Krishan, she clearly is under the influence of something at all times. And she, as of late, has been very clear and seeming that there is no outside substance. So I just pray that it's real and that she gets as far away from him as she can.
Well, apparently not. If she's using wifey emojis, I mean, she's for the ish. So
listen, we all as women feel like we can change a man. If you love him hard enough, he'll be what you need him to be. And I just hope that that's not the case.
Well, I don't want to be on the bandwagon of the folks who truly believe that once Blueface gets out, she's gonna go right back to being the old Krishan. So I don't know.
Well, I believe the Lord has more power than Blueface. So we gonna claim it and name it that she gonna get her life together.
Claim it and name it.
All right.
In the name.
In the name of Jesus. There we go.
My God, today.
Okay, so you a mess. So T Docket.
Okay, T Docket.
Okay.
Apparently. Apparently, Lil Drakey Drake.
Aubrey.
Not Aubrey. Lil Drakey Drake is suing Spotify and Universal. Okay, saying that they were not biased in the promotion.
They were biased.
They were biased in the promotion of They Not Like Us. Okay. Now, I don't know. Maybe you know. I don't know. But Drake and Kendrick both had diss tracks going on, but Kendrick had more diss tracks, or at least his diss tracks were longer in length than Drake's at that time. Or did they both equally have
they were
the same amount of diss tracks going?
If at all more, then Kendrick has one more.
Okay.
But not necessarily,
Tip
But
of
here's
the
the
scale.
thing. And so I understand where Drake is coming from. Only from this point of view. His songs were dope. Actually, I preferred two of Drake's songs over the Kendrick songs. The Kendrick song I like is Not Like Us. But the other two songs I wasn't really a big fan of. And I felt like Drake did his thing. So he may have a valid point that they were suppressing, because I heard Not Like Us everywhere I turn.
Everywhere.
And I don't even listen to Spotify or the radio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everywhere.
It was just everywhere. So I could understand him, feeling away. I don't know how the inner workings of the business go. What I will say is this definitely seems like an Aubrey move and not a Drake move.
Drake is a crybaby. Point blank in the period. That's how I see it. Okay. Kendrick Lamar's diss tracks were lyrically superior.
Not all
to
three
Drake's
of them.
for me. For me, they were lyrically superior. And not only that, he supported those diss tracks with visuals that drew people in. I truly believe that people wanted to hear They Not Like Us more than Drake's diss tracks. Period. I truly believe that. But again, I'm not an expert. I don't check the algorithms and
don't know nothing about it.
And all of the data. But I truly believe that we wanted to hear more of Kendrick than we did of Drake.
Well, the people have spoken. Didn't he just drop?
Period. Dropped a new album. Lil Wayne said, "Don't do it, though.
What happened?
Don't come for me." In his album, on one of the tracks, Kendrick talks about how he used to listen to Carter 3, and he made just like a little innuendo of Carter being salty because he didn't get the Super Bowl.
Oh, right, yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And so he made a little slide, a little insinuation that Carter, Lil Wayne might be a little salty. Okay. Which
he is. However, how if and ever, don't come for Lil Weezy, okay? Because at the end of the day, right, up until whatever mental health episode occurred, okay, because whatever mental health episode occurred,
right,
okay,
right.
He was holding the game down. Lil Wayne did not drop nothing but fire, album after album after album. Let's not act like he's not one of the GOATs, because he is. He's just currently incapacitated.
Lil Wayne is amazing, okay? I will say that. Lil Wayne is amazing, but Kendrick Lamar is amazing as well.
Well,
okay?
I wouldn't say that Kendrick is greater than Lil Wayne, though.
Why not?
Why would he be? Like, so I would, even if you want to put them as equals, like, I don't feel like, like Kendrick is out here, like, superstar, superior.
I favor Kendrick because of his content. Yeah. Period. I favor Kendrick's content over Lil Wayne's. Even though Lil Wayne is a monster. Yes. Lil Wayne is dope as AF, okay?
Oh, okay.
He's AF, okay? AF? He's dope AF. Okay, but I just appreciate Kendrick's artistic point of view. I identify with it more, and so that's why I gravitate towards Kendrick. That's just,
That would make sense. And as a music lover, I'm for what feels good. First of all, don't burden me with too big of a message. I don't have time. I'm trying to either finger pop, you know what I'm saying, or I'm trying to zone out.
Differ.
Yeah, like, don't hit me with the Heavy and the Harriet Tubman and the 400 years on our backs and the, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'll just be like, look, sir, I think about it enough. Right now, I'm just trying to get jiggy with it. Hey, Will. What is wrong with you?
Nah, hey, Will. That took me out. I'm not messing with Will. Period.
Okay, first of all, I mess with the Smiths. I don't care what y'all say about the Smiths. Okay, that's my home girl.
Get him off the show.
Okay.
Get Will off our podcast.
Get Will off her podcast.
Get Will off our podcast. He does not belong here.
First of all, when we go global and get, a real platform, the opinions expressed by Journey are not that of the Person to Person podcast.
That's true. Will, if I'm not mistaken, Will was using a choir recently.
I think he was.
I'm so sorry.
I don't know that, I don't know about the new music and the choir or whatever.
Will, I'm sorry.
But,
Hey, you can come on a podcast.
Yeah, come on. We'd love to have you. Okay.
How did he
bring
even
Jada?
get here?
I don't know.
Talk about jiggy with it. That's what the whole thing. Anyway, Drake is a crybaby.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Okay, and he crying and whining, and we gonna follow this.
We gonna follow
it. We're gonna see where this thing goes. Okay, we gonna give y'all an update.
I also want to see what kind of numbers that Kendrick Lamar album do.
I really want to see.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to see. And then look, I might compare to Drake.
There you go. Because we can't deny that he's not a lyricist, but Drake definitely drops numbers. So
he does. He drops some numbers. He just, got his behind handed to him.
And I think that's strong.
He
but
did.
he, Kendrick, we'll say Kendrick won. All right.
Okay.
So moving on. Okay. To sponsorship. And our sponsor this week is
Talented Hands Catering. Woo! So Talented Hands Catering is owned and operated by Byron Smooth. As you know him on Facebook and Instagram, Mr. Byron Smooth. And he has his hands in the pot quite often. He is an avid food lover. He, Talented Hands Catering, he calls his labor of love. Okay, because he literally just loves to cook.
Absolutely.
Okay, so if you guys have ever partaken in our Fish Fridays, I'm not going to say his Fish Fridays, because I don't cook a thing. Okay? I don't cook a thing. Okay? I benefit from his labor of love. And so we have the Fish Fry Fridays, where he does the catfish sandwiches and the chicken sandwiches. And he does like a catfish dinner. And then he also does the Brunch Day Sunday. That's something brand new.
But the big deal.
What's the big deal?
The big deal is Thanksgiving
Period.
catering.
And we all know that Thanksgiving is the football Super Bowl.
Super Bowl, if you will,
of
to
cooking.
the cook. Tell me, I'm gonna be in that thing, okay?
Super Bowl of cooking.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I wish my husband would let me buy a couple things,
Yes.
because I sure would slide on over there to Talented Hands. Like, can I get a couple pants? But I got to do it myself.
Well, listen, if you don't feel like it and you don't want to, feel free to hit up Talented Hands Catering. Text or call at 313-459-5532. Get you a pan of dressing. Get you a pan of greens. Get you a pan of yams. Come on now, stop playing mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese.
Talented Hands Catering.
All right.
Now for the this is our last Thursday of November.
It is.
And in November, we're specifically talking about family. And I believe we talked about family trauma and healing. We talked about blended families.
We talked about messy families.
Messy families. And so today, to end the month, we're going to talk about generational wealth.
Big things popping.
Long money. Okay? Long money. So
absolutely.
I guess we should start out by kind of just hitting on the topic of what is generational wealth to you?
Okay, so to me, generational wealth is the ability to leave a legacy for not only your children, but your children's children as well. Whether that looks like businesses, whether that's property, whether that's just money, it is leaving a legacy to give them a foot up, to get them on equal footing with their Caucasian counterparts. For a chance at a fair shake in this life. Right? It's more important. Generational wealth within the white community. Not that everybody that's white has generational wealth, because they absolutely do not.
True.
However, for a lot of them, it's just that much easier to provide that foundation. I know that I am, I'm going to speak for you too, we are here living paycheck to paycheck, right? That doesn't set up anything for our children, right? If I get fired tomorrow, I got one more paycheck coming, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So that's not a good place to set your family up, right?
Correct. That's correct.
And I do believe that starts with financial literacy.
Amen.
Because as an African American, I can say that the majority of us are not given a financial literacy. Like, we don't get that sit down. We don't have that conversation that this is how you do this is how you do that.
Right.
Like, our parents are not thinking about setting our foundation,
That's
right? Because they are struggling trying to figure it out on their own.
True.
Or they don't have time to figure ahead.
Girl, go ahead.
So I think that it's very important for us to like drop those little jewels, have those little tidbits of things, that we can do to kind of just like even the playing field.
That's true. That's true. Like, I mean, at some point, struggling, it's no longer a badge of honor. Okay? I remember growing up and people identifying with the struggle was a beautiful thing. If we can, we both identify as struggling through this thing and just making it work and being survivors and being hard workers and all of that. But it's just, I've learned that it's just not enough to make it. It's not enough to just make it.
It's not.
Because if you're just making it, there's nothing left over for anyone else who's coming behind you. Not your kids, not your grandkids. So I definitely identify with your meaning of generational wealth. Like, that was dope, because that's what it is. We have other people outside of the Black community who experience where their mothers or their grandmothers left a house for the people, or left a clothing store,
or an aunt who didn't have kids left everything to her distant nieces and nephews. We don't have that.
Yeah, and one thing that runs rampant in our community is the GoFundMe when someone passes away, not being able to bury your loved ones because there was literally nothing set up for savings. There was no life insurance policies. There was nothing. And so now we got to scrape. And that's the thing. Like, that's crazy to have that weight on your shoulders on top of grief, on top of loss. Now I have no idea how I'm going to do a homegoing in a way that I feel is respectful and of honor to the person that I lost. That's just bananas. And
it absolutely is.
This is an important conversation.
Absolutely is. It's like, the GoFundMes of today are the fish fries of yesterday. The cabarets, the house party, like whatever you got to do to come up with that money to bury your loved one, which is, where typically when a white person dies, because things go bad much quicker, they have them buried within like 2 days. Like, there's no, whereas when a Black family is struggling, that body can sit there for 2-3 weeks while people are trying to come up with the money. So it's not, typical. That's not the word I'm looking for. It's just not feasible to function in that way. There are 7 tips to generational wealth.
I love it. She be doing her research, y'all. Okay.
And what they are is home ownership. Owning your home, not just owning your home, because we get tripped up by that. I signed, I pay a mortgage, but baby, you don't own that house till it's paid for.
That's right. The bank owns it.
The bank owns it, and if something happens to you, they don't just transfer it to your kids. So what you want to do is, 1, make sure that you are paying your mortgage, at least an extra mortgage. What is it, 3 extra or 6? No. 4 extra mortgages a year. Okay. Right? And that'll help you pay off your loan. Like, I think it takes off 10 years or something like that. It takes off a big chunk, but it's all you have to do is be diligent and pay that extra, like 4 times a year. You pay that extra mortgage that only goes towards the principal, right? It's not going towards interest, right? And that way you're knocking it down, right? So that if something does happen to you, you also want to put that home in trust, I believe, for your children, so that they don't have to fight with probate court and all of those things, so it can just easily be transferred to them. You also want to talk to your kids about money. That's that financial literacy. You need to start at a very young age. This is what money means. This is the weight of it. This is what happens when you have bad credit. If you don't pay this, don't take out things that you can't afford to pay for. Right? Because I know firsthand, like, my thought process is, y'all give me the money, I'm gonna spend the money. Now, whether or not y'all get it back, that's y'all business.
Listen.
And that's not a good...
I got my first credit card at 18. Nobody educated me about it. And I signed up and got a little credit card. Girl, went to the guest store, balled out, could not pay it back. That was my first source of debt. Now, happily, of course, I've paid it off by now, right? I'm not going to telling my age here. Right. But I done paid it off by now. But, baby, you can tell me nothing at 18 with a credit card. All I knew is I could pay for stuff. I didn't know nothing about paying it back.
No.
None of that.
Yeah, and then they trick you when you go to school, right? That you take these impressionable 18-year-old, 19-year-old kids and you say, hey, we can get you a loan. Okay? It's going to give you more money, than what the Pell Grant going to give you, and it's going to help you, right? And so if you're anything like me, your kids is out here taking that money and, well, not that I was irresponsible with the money, because I absolutely was not, because I didn't go to college till I already had a kid.
Right.
So I would take my loan disbursements and pay my rent up.
Okay.
I would, so between my income tax and my 2 loan disbursements, oh baby, everything was taken care of for the year.
Okay.
Now, in hindsight, that was the dumbest thing I could have ever done. I ended up owing currently like $115,000 for a 2-year degree. Now, I have since gotten 2 other degrees, but for that 2-year degree, I still owe $115,000, and it just keeps going up. So you definitely want to have that financial literacy conversation with your children, because if you build that foundation, they won't depart from it. We generally give our children our bad habits. Right? They watch what we do. So we out here balling out, the red little notices come in the mail. I'll get to it when I get to it. That's the thing that they're going to do when they go out here in the world, right?
True. Very true. Spend them diamonds, honey.
Then there is adopting an investment mindset. And this one is scary for me.
Okay.
Right? I'm not a risk taker.
Right.
Right? And so investing to me seems risky.
But you need if your money ain't moving, you ain't making nothing.
Exactly. And investing does not just have to be stocks. There's IRAs. You can put $3,000 a year in an IRA, right? And you just can keep rolling that thing over and rolling that thing over, and you will have a nice nest egg at retirement. So if that's your first gift, to your kids when they go out here into this world, give them $3,000, put it in an IRA, and let them just keep snowballing that thing, right? It's out of sight, out of mind type of thing, and it's just collecting money. You can you have your whole 401k situations at your job, and you let a professional decide where your money gonna go and how aggressive and how what you're gonna do. But the goal is to be saving and investing. So if you're out here buying rental properties, that is an investment. That is something that you can pass on to your children. Just make sure that you're putting your money somewhere that is going to be working for you, and the money that it's bringing in, put it away. Don't spend it, because that's another tip for building generational wealth. Spend less than you make.
Right. That's part. That part.
Right.
Your expenses and your debt, your expenses and your income. Okay. These expenses need to be way less than that income,
because you need to be saving ideally 15% of your income every month, because the goal for a financially flush adult is to have 3 to 6 months of your
monthly expenses
in the bank. 3 to 6 months. And in 2024, we're really looking at 6 to 12, because you don't know what's going to happen, and you need to be able. This economy is trash right now. Finding a job is horrible. So it might take a minute. So you need to make sure that you have that money set to the side. Like, that's first on the agenda, next to getting out of debt. Getting out of debt is your first, because you can't be saving if you got all of this debt. Right? Somebody coming for it. Okay. But yeah, you just want to make sure that you're putting yourself in a position that even when stuff happens, right, it doesn't catch you completely off guard. You're able to pull from the savings and put it back. My car broke down. What am I gonna do? Hey, boom, boom. I had the money. It's not my money though. So once I get paid, I'm going to put it back. And if you look at it as, this is not my money until, I retire, or this is not my money until 20 years from now, or whatever goal you set for yourself, don't touch it.
And the key word there is discipline.
It's very much discipline. You have to be disciplined. It's not easy.
It's not.
Because, we like big things popping. We like the latest Gucci, Louis, the whole.
Forget the labels.
The trips.
People like to travel. I was just going to say, people like to travel, baby.
People like to eat.
People love to eat.
Okay, we spend way too much money on food. Okay. Now, and when I say we, I do mean me too. So we spend too much money on food. We could be saving that money. And then there's also life insurance.
We just talked about that.
We just had a whole conversation. Okay. Life insurance is so important. And the problem is, you gotta get it young. Because I pay $18 a month for life insurance for my son.
Okay.
it's nothing.
Yeah.
Right? However, insurance for me would be $300 a month.
Dang.
If I can find someone to insure me.
Right. If.
If.
It's the big word.
Right?
If.
Because as you get older, you have health problems.
Yes.
You know, your weight is a factor. Do you smoke? Do you, like, all of these things become a factor on either we're going to charge you through the roof.
Yeah.
You know, real life grape.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or we're just not going to do it at all.
Yeah. And you really owe it to your family to have a life insurance policy. You really do. You owe it to your family. That's like a worthy sacrifice. You know, that thing that you say, oh, this about to have me broke. It's worth it. It's worth it. Because if something happens to you, you do not want people to struggle to put you in the ground or whatever your, you know, homegoing wishes are.
No, you don't. And
life
then
insurance is important.
You need estate planning. You need that will. You need that
Mm-hmm.
trust. You need to know who's your power of attorney. You need to have all of those things set, because I promise you, Big Mom, when you're not here no more, these kids ain't gonna know how to act, and it's not gonna run as smoothly as you think it is going to.
No.
Everything needs to be written out. My mother has written everything out to the T.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I know exactly where all of my mother's things are. I know exactly what my mother wants, right? I am on her safety deposit boxes.
Okay.
I'm on her bank account.
Yeah.
Right? So there won't be an issue of me claiming the money, because I'm already on these things, so that I can handle business in the event that something happens to her. So not only do you have to have that thing written out in plain, get it notarized if you don't have an attorney, right? Because that's still a legal document, and she is a notary, okay? So it's just make sure that you have all of your ducks in a row.
Yes.
And is having those hard conversations. Nobody wants to talk about, you know, grandma or mom passing away, but it's a reality. We all have to leave here someday.
It really is.
And the sooner that you prepare yourself and those around you, the easier it will be to create that wealth and that foundation for your family, and make sure who you want to get what gets what.
Right. And that's the key. Generational wealth. You know, we have to prepare for our departure. We have to prepare for the generations that are to come. And I think that it would be amazing to not see my children suffer and struggle.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
like, no, I would rather struggle than have my children struggle. So why didn't I set them up?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And so you end with that. And then that's also gets you into retirement planning. If you don't plan for your retirement, you become a burden to your children. That's it. That's all. Yes, your children may be happy to do it, because there's not anything I won't do for my parents.
Right.
Whatever they need. And they don't need anything from me right now. But what I'm just saying, whatever they need from me, I'm there. However, it is important that as an individual, you plan for what you want for your retirement to not be a burden.
I don't set it up. Kai, Kenty, and Orlando, my 3 sons, light of my life, light of my world. Please don't put me in a home. Okay? I don't want strangers wiping my hoo-ha.
You don't want strangers wiping your hoo-ha?
No.
You know how you can stop strangers from wiping your hoo-ha?
No.
Write it down. Make it plain.
Come on, get
All
it
right.
notarized.
Get it notarized. Then they can't put you nowhere you don't want to be.
Amen.
Amen. You don't put it in nobody else's hands, you know? And again, these are your children. So they're used to you handling things for them.
So I'm going to try to set them up.
That's right.
Okay, so they have the means to hire a home health aide and keep me at the crib.
Keep me at home, because you done paid your house off, so you ain't got to leave.
Okay. Yeah.
See? But yeah, it's very important to make sure that you set yourself up for financial success, and that we as a community start setting our children up for generational wealth.
That's right.
And just good financial habits. Even if you can't successfully set them up with generational wealth, give them a foundation of financial literacy. It's very important.
Very important. Extremely important. And so, yeah, I think that wraps up our generational wealth episode.
Okay.
And so we'll see you guys next month, December. We'll start with a whole nother theme, a whole nother set of topics, and bringing you person to person.
Yes. So don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends and family, because we need more people sipping tea.
Okay. And how much do it cost?
$3.99.
$3.99. Person to person out.